Greetings, everyone, to all you out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to NoDQ live here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ. We are coming off the final Raw before WWE Backlash. Yes, there is another pay-per-view this Sunday night on the WWE Network. We had a new match announced for the Backlash pay-per-view. I will get to that in a few. Tonight's Raw was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Very hot crowd. Arguably the hottest Raw crowd of the year. I thought that this crowd rivaled the post-WrestleMania Raw crowd. What did you guys in the chat room think? This was a really hot crowd. They were awesome tonight. I really enjoyed Raw just because of the fans. The fans made it fun. Seen some comments here about Backlash. By the way, thank you to everyone out there watching, whether it's on demand or watching live. I appreciate your viewership. Cindy says Montreal and Chicago are the hotbed of wrestling. I hope the Chicago crowd is hot. I feel like in recent years, the Chicago crowd, sometimes they take away from the show and they've disappointed in recent years. But for the most part in history, Chicago tends to be one of the best WWE crowds. And I hope that will be the case for Money in the Bank weekend. Got the first super chat donation from Nelson, $2. What's up, Aaron? I'm doing well, Nelson. Thank you for tuning in. Interstate Kyle says Raw was still boring. Kyle says if it wasn't for the crowd, it would have been a very boring Raw. The Robo Buck says I went to see Avengers instead. Well, let's go ahead and break down Raw. So the show opened up with the big dog, Roman Reigns. By the way, which is more annoying? Question for you guys watching in the chat room. Which is more annoying? Michael Cole saying the big dog or it's boss time. Which one is more annoying? I find both of them equally annoying. I'm going back and forth as to which phrase I find to be more annoying, but I wish he would just stop with both phrases. They both annoy me. But I'm curious as to what you guys in the chat room think. TJS says it's boss time. David says the big dog. Darren says both. You guys are a mixed bag. A lot of you saying both. It's hard to pick one. I think they're both equally annoying. But that's just me. Virtue says Kyle is the feet that beats his meat. Savage comment of the night. Whoa! We got a little feud going on here between Kyle and Virtue apparently. But let's get back to Raw. Roman Reigns came out heavily booed. Montreal was booing Roman Reigns like he screwed Bret the Hitman Hart. It was brutal. We had Reigns come out there say he's the rightful Universal Champion. By the way, the storyline is that the referee, Chad Patton, he had made a mistake and he admitted to making a mistake. He was caught up. This is all in the storyline, by the way. He was caught up in the heat of the moment and he was worried for the welfare of both guys. So he just made a call and it was the wrong call and he feels he made a mistake. That's the storyline. The funny thing, though, is if you look at the replay and you watch it in slow motion, yes, it took a while for Lesnar to actually get on the ground. But when Reigns initially rolled off the cage, one of his feet were stuck on the apron. So one foot was not completely on the ground. And then Lesnar rolled off the cage. So technically, if we're going at both feet have to touch the ground at the same time, or both of them just have to touch the ground, period, Brock Lesnar technically won the match. So yeah, WWE just completely screwed this up and they're like, to hell with it. We're just going to say the referee made a mistake and move on here. Blame the ref. Hab Connell with a $5 super chat donation. It is amazing how far WWE has fallen in the last 3 years. They need to fix something soon because if I have to watch one more episode, I may kill myself. Wow, that is pretty bad. If you feel like you have to kill yourself because WWE is so bad, I know you're joking, but yeah. As bad as WWE gets, please do not physically harm yourself. To anybody out there, WWE is not worth it. Any fiction, really, there's nothing worth killing yourself over unless you have a terminal illness that is causing you severe pain. In that case, you can make an argument. But that's a whole other topic. Let's not even go there. Salamander A says, love the Andre shirt. Ham Connell says, I'm just joking, but it's that bad. Braden says, WWE clearly wanted to get the French speaking in tonight. Tommy with a $2 super chat donation. We want the toe that runs the show, Interstate Kyle. Man, Tommy is such a diehard Kyle fan. By the way, check out Kyle at Interstate Kyle on YouTube. Watch some of his videos. There's a cheap plug for him. Devin says Aaron supports assisted suicide. Well, you guys should know I am a libertarian, so I feel if a person wants to end his life, ultimately that is their decision. But I would say don't do it unless you are in a situation where you're terminally ill or you have a condition where you are in severe pain and there is no cure for this pain and you feel you would be better off dead in that case. But we're just getting completely off the rails here with wrestling. I know some people out there are going to be complaining, but it is NoDQ Live. It is a live video. And that's the thing about the live videos. Sometimes I end up talking about something completely random, off topic, but that also makes it a little bit more fun and unpredictable. Sometimes we need that. Ooh, okay, we got the savage line of the night. When all else fails, talking off topic here just gave us a savage line of the night. Bootleg Joe. Wait a minute. I got to get back to that comment real quick. Bootleg Joe 760. WWE television is a terminal illness. That right now is the savage line of the night. Tommy with the $2 super chat donation. Interstate Kyle, call in. I've been asking for days. All right. Well, when we are done with the review video here, maybe I'll see if Kyle wants to call in real quick and give his thoughts on whatever. Raw or Backlash, whatever's on his mind. So anyways, back to Raw. Roman Reigns heavily booed, just like the night after WrestleMania 33. It was quite hilarious just how much the crowd hated Roman Reigns. Every time he tried to talk, the crowd just booed him very loudly. And then we had an interruption by Jinder Mahal. Now, Jinder is Canadian, and he did get somewhat of a decent reaction. He did get some cheers, but then there were the people that were also booing him. And at one point there was a "you both suck" chant. Jinder wanted a match with Roman. This led to Sami Zayn coming out and getting this enormous, ginormous pop. It was something else. People reacted to Sami Zayn like he was Hulk Hogan in Montreal. There were quite a few guys that Montreal reacted to very, very highly. Sami Zayn being one of those people. And Sami came out, wanted a match also with Roman Reigns. This led to Kevin Owens coming out complete with his Canadian-themed t-shirt. Another huge babyface reaction. And this basically set up a fight. The four guys started fighting. Well, actually, it was Roman Reigns punching Kevin Owens and then getting beat down by the other guys. Cindy said KO was wearing a Quebec flag t-shirt. Thank you for that. Thank you for specifying me on that. We had a run-in from Bobby Lashley, and then we had a run-in from... Who was the other person? Now I'm completely blanking out. Oh, it was Braun Strowman. How can I forget Braun Strowman? Virtue says no call in for me tonight unless Aaron gets at least a $25 super chat donation. All right, well, if anybody wants Virtue to call in, Virtue wants somebody to send me $25. So there you go. Braun came out, and this set up a 6-person tag team match. It was Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Jinder Mahal against Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Bobby Lashley. It should be noted that the crowd did not really care about Bobby Lashley. I don't know what it is with Lashley, but he definitely doesn't have the full support of the WWE fan base. Maybe it's because he was in TNA for so long, Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it. Or maybe he just doesn't have the charisma or the mic skills, but something's not clicking with the audience. Sin CK thinks Lashley needs to turn. Nelson says poor booking. There's a lot of different opinions about it. I think a heel turn might serve him good at this point. We had this 6-person tag team match. We had Braun Strowman pinning Kevin Owens, which actually got some boos. It's funny because up to this point, Braun Strowman has not gotten booed since he turned babyface, and for the first time he got some boos mixed in with cheers when he power slammed the Canadian hero Kevin Owens. And then WWE announced after Strowman defeated Owens, I guess Owens and Zayn are getting another shot at Strowman and Lashley. At the Backlash pay-per-view, it is Lashley and Strowman against Owens and Zayn. Definitely feels like a match that is just being thrown together just to get these guys a spot on the pay-per-view. I really have no interest in it, but maybe we'll see a turn. Maybe we'll see Bobby Lashley go heel and walk out on Braun Strowman. There's no good reason for it other than Lashley just doesn't seem to be cutting it as a babyface. But storyline-wise, just doesn't really feel like there's anything to it. Tommy, you were mentioning Kyle as the Wrestling Trivia Champion. I will make that happen. I will get Kyle on Wrestling Trivia Challenge if you want me to. Since you've been so generous with the Super Chat donations, we'll get Kyle on to challenge Greg at some point. That is, of course, if Greg can hold on to the Wrestling Trivia Championship. By the way, guys, if you haven't been watching, check out Wrestling Trivia Challenge on the NoDQ.com YouTube channel. Very entertaining stuff. Very fun to participate and be the host for it. So check it out over on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. Let's move on here. We had a women's match. We had Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott still has her happy-go-lucky babyface music. We had the Riott Squad interfering in the match. There was no sign of Bayley whatsoever. She was nowhere to be found. And Sasha tried to fight off the Riott Squad members, but eventually the odds just caught up with her. And we had Ruby Riott defeat Sasha Banks on Monday Night Raw. So what's going on with this feud? Is Sasha going to be a babyface? Is Bayley turning heel? I have no idea. I just don't really care about the storyline that much. I think, as I've said before, it peaked a long time ago and WWE has just been dragging this thing out. So yeah, I really don't care what happens at this point. I'm curious to know what you guys think. I mean, Devin says Bayley was watching from the back. They cut to her looking on. Okay, I must have missed that then. I must have looked down for a minute or so and missed it. Tommy says he's single-handedly responsible for Kyle's push. Tommy doesn't seem interested in Raw at all. Tommy just wants to talk about Interstate Kyle. So either one of two things. Either Kyle has a really, really, really dedicated fan, or Tommy just likes to troll us. So Dick says pay attention, Aaron. Yeah, I need to pay attention to what's going on Raw. I guess I totally missed them cutting to Bayley. Whatever. It still doesn't make me any more interested in the storyline. Tommy says we don't want Raw talk, we want Kyle talk. Salamander says, when is the NoDQ meetup for LA again? That is in November, right before Survivor Series. Go over to Facebook.com or check out the link in the description box. You can find out how to RSVP for our meetup and all the details when they become available. Got a $2 Super Chat donation from Tom. He just says hi. Hi, Tommy. Tom McCarthy. Stephen Osborne, $5. I have not watched Raw yet. Just dropping by to say hi and drop a little love. Happy Rusev Day, everybody. Well, thank you for that. I do believe there was a Rusev Day chant on the show. I was actually expecting more Rusev Day chants, but the crowd was good. They didn't try to hijack the show. See, that's what I liked about the Montreal crowd. They were invested in the storylines and matches. They did boo the guys that WWE doesn't want booed, like Roman Reigns, but they did cheer for some of the guys that are supposed to be cheered, like Seth Rollins. And for the matches, they were invested in what was going on. They weren't trying to hijack the show with CM Punk chants or Rusev Day chants. They were just into the show and they were having a good time. And I liked it. DJ Whitey just left a $5 super chat donation. I still don't know if it's Whitty or Whitey. To this day, I don't know. Isn't No Way Jose's entrance a knockoff of Adam Rose's entrance? Do you think he's going to be lost in the shuffle in record time? Yeah, I agree with you completely. It is basically Adam Rose 2.0. It's an opening match act. I don't think it's going to have a very long shelf life. You know, he's going to be, maybe he'll be teaming up with the Fashion Police in the opening match, 6-man tag comedy match. But yeah, I don't see No Way Jose going very far. Jeremy Adams with a $2 donation. Zayn and Bayley suck so bad, what's the appeal? Wow. Well, with Bayley, up until the last year or so, I think the appeal was that she had a very likable personality. You could relate to her. At least women could relate to her. You know, she is the girl next door. And I think guys were attracted to her in that way too. The fact that she's not the diva, the typical diva that dresses up in makeup. She's basically a fan, like Jeff Hardy. She's like the female version of Jeff Hardy, where the fans can identify with her because she is a fan herself who just happens to be successful in wrestling. But she's living the dream for the fans, and she is relatable to the audience. They feel like she's one of them. I think that's the appeal to Bayley when she was hot in NXT, and of course WWE has screwed her up. Tommy sent in a $2 super chat donation. Tell Virtue not to spear and hurt Kyle. Hashtag 1 month ban. I would say Tommy's getting a little ridiculous with these comments, but he is sending in super chat donations. So if I had kids, he'd be putting my kids through college. Now, real quick about Sami Zayn. I feel Sami Zayn has appeal in multiple ways. One is what I just said about Bayley. He is somebody you can relate to. He is a phenomenal wrestler. I watched him in PWG, and that guy stole the show every show I went to. I watched him against Kevin Steen in PWG, against Joey Ryan. I saw matches with Sami Zayn teaming up with not El Generico. He is El Generico. Well, there we go. I just broke kayfabe. They're two separate people. There, I'm staying in kayfabe. Human Tornado. That was the guy I was thinking of. Two skinny white guys, I think was their tag team name. But yeah, he is just a great wrestler, a great baby face, and he's turning out to be a great heel too. Sami Zayn can play either role, and he's just a phenomenal worker, great performer. That's all there is. That's his appeal. That's all you need to know. Virtue says 18,000 Montreal fans hailing for a cab during Raw tonight. Virtue's really trying for that savage line of the night, but I think that comment about Raw being a terminal illness was the best comment tonight. Bradley says, hey Aaron, just tuning in. Well, thank you for tuning in. By the way, guys, please spread the word about this video. Spread the word about the channel. Word of mouth really goes a long way, and I definitely appreciate it. So let's get back to Raw and talk about some of the other events that happened on the show. I did mention, I mentioned Seth Rollins. He came out for a promo, and he was getting this almost Hulk Hogan-like reaction in Toronto, where the fans just kept cheering for him. And I think if he just did the Hogan routine and just soaked it all in and never said anything, I think the fans would have kept going. Who knows how long they would have kept going with the cheering. But Rollins did keep the promo moving. We had Finn Balor come out and said he wanted one more match with Seth Rollins, and that became the main event of this week's Raw. We had the Miz Taraj come out, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel, and this was a great segment. Oops, Cindy just pointed out a botch I made. I said Toronto instead of Montreal. Oops, my bad. Montreal. There we go. Well, same thing. Hogan got the big reaction in Toronto. Got the big reaction in Montreal. But yeah, it was the night after WrestleMania 18. That was in Montreal when Hogan came out and got that reaction where the fans just wouldn't stop cheering. WrestleMania was Toronto. So yeah, very easy to screw the two up and mix them up. Nelson with a $2 super chat donation. Do you consider Rollins the top 3 on Raw? Yeah, I think Rollins, he's right up there for sure with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman as far as the top babyface characters on Raw goes. Well, I'm sure some would argue Rollins is above Reigns at this point. But yeah, the crowd just reacts to Rollins significantly every time he comes out. And it's funny, the burn it down at the beginning, at first I was like, man, this is cheesy, but it seems like that has actually helped his intro and people getting into him, and the whole burn it down concept has helped Rollins, not just with the entrance, with the music, but also when he channels Shawn Michaels when he starts stomping on the mat prior to going for the super kick, doing the burn it down. So that phrase has really helped Rollins, I think, get over even more as a babyface, and helped him after his babyface run started off really flat a year and a half or two ago. Now it feels like he's really on fire as a babyface. Power Packers 90 with $5 super chat donation. Thank you, Power Packers 90. But Raw isn't terminal because it's a torrent that wouldn't end. Woo, there we go. There's another savage comment of the night from Power Packers 90. What do you guys think? What's the savage line of the night? I might need some audience participation for this one, helping me determine which line was the most savage. And there's still time. We still got time in this video. Feel free to send in your savage line of the night. I just wanted to add that I really enjoyed the Miz Taraj, as usual this week. I love them coming out with the t-shirt. That was great. And then trying to create the 4 horsemen with Rollins and Balor. I love it. I love what WWE's doing with the Miz Taraj, getting them TV time, keeping them busy, giving them something fun to do. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Kurapika 07. What happened to Jason Jordan? Is he still injured? Yeah, he's still recovering from injury. Angle said he would be back shortly after WrestleMania. Maybe after Backlash, I could see him coming back. But it should be very soon. He should be back at any time now. Tommy says Raw tonight was as good as a 3-hour traffic standstill because of traffic. Mike B says, hey Aaron, I wore my NoDQ beanie at work today, so hopefully that'll bring you new subs to this awesome channel. Thank you, Mike B. I appreciate it. And by the way, guys, I still have a few left. NoDQ.com beanies. Email me, nodqmisc@gmail.com. They're $20, $15 shipping for international orders, $10 if you're in Canada, but $15 everywhere else. NoDQmisc@gmail.com is the PayPal address. And there's still beach balls available as well. Those are $10, and the same shipping costs apply to international orders. Now, let's get back to Raw. There was a promo with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, the new tag team champions. That was fine. There was a promo with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, just a short promo. That was their only presence on this show. Nelson, good question from Nelson. Very good question. What's the website we go to for NoDQ shirts? Go to nodq.com/shirts. That's all you got to do. nodq.com/shirts to pick up a NoDQ t-shirt. So go ahead and do that. The URL, the easy URL to get to the Pro Wrestling Tee store is nodq.com/shirts. And use the code SAVE5 to get a discount. There you go. SAVE5. nodq.com/shirts. That's enough of the shilling, enough of the plugging. Let's talk about Titus World Slide. By the way, it's lame when I say it, and it might even be lamer when Michael Cole says it. It just, everything Michael Cole says makes things so uncool. But yeah, Titus cut a promo, was interrupted by Baron Corbin, who's looking more and more like Hulk Hogan on the top of his head with every passing day. But I am too, so I'm not one to talk. We had Baron Corbin against No Way Jose. No Way Jose came out, of course, with his conga line. The question is, which guy in the conga line is going to be the next big star? Which one of those guys or gals will be the next top star? Is there a potential Braun Strowman in that group? I didn't see anybody all that big in that group, but physically big at least. But there could be somebody in there that could be a future headliner in WWE. Maybe a female star. Maybe the next Charlotte Flair is somewhere in that conga line. I could definitely see one of those guys being the next big star one of these days. And their first taste of fame was No Way Jose's conga line. Just like for Braun Strowman being part of Adam Rose's, whatever it was called. What was the Adam Rose group called? I totally forgot now. The Midnight Express? No, definitely not the Midnight Express. I thought it was something Express, but I'm just blanking out. All right, here come all the comments. Rosebuds. Okay, the Rosebuds. Thank you for that, guys. I just got like 50 comments saying Rosebuds. All right, so we had Titus O'Neil interrupt the match, and I guess he pretended to slip while going up on the apron. I think he was pretending at least. Either way, it was definitely staged, and I think in the storyline he was pretending to throw off Baron Corbin and distract him, and it worked, of course. No Way Jose rolled him up and picked up the victory. So there you go. No Way Jose has defeated Baron Corbin. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to think about No Way Jose. Kevin says I missed AOP versus local talent. Well, there's not much to say about it. AOP beat a couple of local talents. And that was that. It was very short. I thought Adam Rose had something express, but maybe I'm just completely off on that. I must be. I thought the word express was used in something with Adam Rose, but now I come off like an idiot. So whatever. What else is new? Nelson with a $2 super chat donation. What are your expectations of No Way Jose? I really don't have any. I think he's going to be a lower card comedy opening match guy. I really don't see him doing anything else. Kurapika07 says the Party Express. There we go. That's what I was thinking. The Party Express. Or the Exotic Express. That's it. Thank you. Why couldn't somebody just say that right off the bat so I didn't make myself think I was an idiot? The Exotic Express is the phrase I was looking for with Adam Rose. And for some reason, the first thing that came to mind, because I forgot, was Midnight Express, because they were a far more memorable act in wrestling history. We did have Elias, another match I need to bring up here before we get to the main event. Elias versus Bob Roode in a rematch from last week. Elias was great. Elias did his song. The crowd was really into it. He still tried to insult the fans, but they were not going to boo this man. We had the match end when Elias sent Roode into the exposed turnbuckle corner. And Roode went, I think, chest first, but he sold his throat. Like something was going on with his throat and he couldn't breathe. The referee checked on him, had the medical team come out, and the match was called off. And we had Elias announce himself as the winner, And I guess this feud must continue. So, yay. Rude's injury is not legit, guys. He landed here and was selling here. So, yeah, it was definitely worked. Travis W. says this was the commercial break match. Well, during this match and a couple of matches on this show, and WWE has been doing this a lot lately, doing the commercials with the picture-in-picture feature where you can still watch the rest holds as the commercials are playing. Whatever. It just makes the whole show feel more choreographed because, of course, the commercials are airing and we get to see, oh, these guys are just doing rest holds while the commercials are on. How convenient. So yeah, it kind of makes the show feel more choreographed and scripted, but whatever. I'm not even paying attention anyways. I just look up every time the Axe Suck My Balls commercial comes on. 3 times this week, by the way. Last week, nothing. So it's really weird how one week there's no Axe Suck My Balls commercials, and this week there's 3. I don't know who comes up with what commercials air on which shows. I don't know. So let's move on here. We had the main event match, which was Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Great match. This was an awesome main event. The crowd, of course, was red hot for this. I love the near falls in this match. And I'm happy there was a clean finish. I thought we were going to have some sort of screw job potentially, or maybe some kind of angle to set up another triple threat. I like the fact that Rollins won clean, and maybe this will set up a Balor heel turn. I mean, that's a possibility, but of everybody on the roster right now, I think Lashley could still benefit the most. Actually, see, I'm torn. I'm torn between Lashley, Rude, and Balor. Balor, it feels like him and Rollins, there might be something going on here now that Balor lost clean to Rollins, unless Balor's going into a different direction. But yeah, I feel like 3 guys, well, shit, 4 guys, if we include Reigns, Balor, Rude, and Lashley. All 4 of these guys seem really weak as babyface characters and could seriously benefit from going heel. And I say that about Ambrose too. So when Ambrose comes back, you got 5. Raw is definitely weak on the heel side. You have Owens and Zayn, but Owens and Zayn get cheered most of the time. Occasionally they get booed, but for the most part, the crowd loves these guys. Corbin, he tries to be a heel, but it just feels very forced. Mahal is just the stereotypical foreign heel, as I've talked about. So yeah, we need a really strong main event heel on Raw, definitely. And I think there's another match I'm missing. Oh yeah, Ronda Rousey was on this show. And the thing is, like, I almost forgot about it. We had Mickie James against, who is she against? Mickie James against, wow, I'm blanking out on this. Oh, Natalya. See, this should be at the top of my memory because this is a storyline involving Ronda friggin' Rousey, and I don't remember it 20, 30 minutes after it aired. I know, guys, it's Natalya. But this is my legitimate reaction. I mean, that's the good thing about NoDQ Live. You guys are getting my reaction, immediate reaction 20, 30 minutes after Raw. And I almost completely forgot that Ronda Rousey was on this show. Kayfabe Candy Ass says, I remember Ronda's pants. Nice comment there. Kayfabe It says, I don't get Natalya and her hype. She's awful in the ring. I think Natalya's good. I mean, is she one of the best? That's debatable. I don't know if she's been given the opportunity to really go out there and have the best performance possible. I think her best match was the match she had with Charlotte in NXT. And you could say that about a lot of the WWE women, that their best matches were in NXT when they had the opportunity to go out there and have the best matches possible. Yeah, there was no Ember Moon on this show at all, Beastmaster. I definitely feel Ronda needs to be she needs to be more like Brock Lesnar and not be on Raw every single week. I think that putting her on Raw every week is devaluing her. I definitely feel that she's losing that special feeling and that personality. She doesn't feel like a special attraction when she's out there. She just feels like another person on the roster. With Brock Lesnar, people complain about him being a part-timer, but he only shows up once in a while, and when he does show up, it's something special. So yeah, I think WWE needs to keep Ronda off TV and not have her on every single week, because this week I felt like she's just there, and she doesn't feel like a special attraction anymore, and she should be. She should be like Brock Lesnar and be a special attraction. When she does show up, it's a big deal. So that's pretty much all I got about Raw. Do you guys want Interstate Kyle on? Should I invite Interstate Kyle on? Maybe for a few minutes, get his thoughts, the toe that runs the show. Let me know in the chat room. Do you guys want Interstate Kyle on? Kyle, if you're around, go ahead and call on Skype, and we'll get you on for a few minutes. So Tommy can be happy. Call on Skype. And now I got an echo, so I got to fix that real quick. But go ahead and call me, Kyle. I will give Kyle a minute here. Anything else from Raw you guys would like me to discuss? Anything I missed? I don't believe I missed anything, but I'm not 100% certain. I'm sure I did miss something. A lot of people are saying no about Kyle being on. Wow, you guys are really down on Kyle. You guys don't like the toe that runs the show, apparently. So, poor Kyle. But check him out anyway, Interstate Kyle. He's got some awesome YouTube videos. Okay, here he comes. We do have Kyle coming on now. And Nelson left a $2 Super Chat donation. It would be dope having NoDQ WrestleMania review live. Kyle, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in to NoDQ Live. So, what's on your mind?
I thought this show was pretty boring. I mean, the crowd made it somewhat interesting, but I was still bored with it. I mean, honestly, the only part I actually laughed or was like just the only thing I'm going to remember from this show is Titus O'Neil and that in the main event. Obviously, it was a really good match, but I don't know if this is going to be Titus's gimmick every week, but I feel like it's going to have a very short shelf life if they just keep doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think like the gag is going to be that he's going to either trip or pretend tripping. I think he was pretending in storyline, but I'm not really sure exactly. I mean, it looks so obviously staged that I'm assuming he was just purposely doing it to distract Baron Corbin, but I'm not sure for sure. I'm not sure what the deal is with that.
Like, I was honestly laughing, like, when Dana Brooke had the towel out and just, like, trying to, like, mop up the floor or whatever, the stage right there. I was laughing so hard at that. I don't know why. I feel like I shouldn't be laughing at that, but I don't know. That just really got to me. I don't know why. I just couldn't stop laughing after that.
Yeah. Any other thoughts you have regarding Raw or anything you would like to say regarding Backlash?
Well, I just hope SmackDown's a decent show. I mean, the build-up for Backlash has just been, I don't know, like, we just got off the Greatest Royal Rumble, and now we already have another pay-per-view. Like, there's 3 pay-per-views in a span of 30 days. It's just, so much wrestling. It's like, I feel like I'm mentally drained from all the wrestling that we've been getting lately, but I guess I'm somewhat interested in Backlash, but again, I just feel like it's just going to be a B pay-per-view, and Money in the Bank is actually going to be somewhat interesting. Kind of looking forward to that more than Backlash, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank. I mean, that's the show I'm going to, of course, but I'm curious to see who will be the next person to win the contract, both for the men and the women. And I think that should be a really fun weekend with NXT as well. Of course, we got NXT, so that's going to be a hot weekend.
Oh, for sure. And I wish I could go to that, but unfortunately,
well,
I think it'll be the New Japan show in San Francisco, so that's always something to look forward to.
Yeah, New Japan's coming up. Survivor Series is coming up. But anyways, Kyle, any plugs?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Interstate Kyle. Subscribe to me on YouTube at Interstate Kyle.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you very much for calling in, Kyle. I'll talk to you later.
All right, see ya. Bye.
All right, bye. I see people wanting Cindy to call in. How about tomorrow night? I'll give a little bit advance notice here and maybe build up the anticipation. So many of you want Cindy to call in. By the way, check out her video that she posted with Kyle and Big Jeffrey. That's up on the NoDQ channel. So tomorrow night, maybe we'll have Cindy call in to NoDQ Live. For that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I think I've said everything I wanted to say tonight. But I will be back tomorrow night, NoDQ Live. Maybe we'll have Cindy call in. Maybe virtual call in. We'll have a good time tomorrow night. So tell a friend. Spread the word about NoDQ Live. The word of mouth, like I said, really goes a long way. And that's all I got for tonight. I will talk to you guys tomorrow for more NoDQ Live.